Hello everyone and welcome to another video. It's Victoria with Nutrition by Victoria, and this is kind of going to be just like a chat slash mukbang. I've got some watermelon, it's breakfast time. This morning I went out for a bike ride and just finished up some yoga, and Violet's here with me eating some watermelon. Say hi.
Hi. Hi.
So lots of crazy things going on these days. Pretty much the whole globe is under quarantine and lots of stuff going on behind the scenes. I'm not going to really talk about those things today. I just want to talk about all things food related and how now it is more important than ever to be making sure that you're taking good care of yourself health-wise. Obviously the coronavirus is going around, and it's very important that you're meeting all of your nutrient needs in order to give your immune system what it needs to have a fighting chance against really all things human disease related. So we are starting off with some watermelon here full of nutrients, lycopene. It's cold. Potassium, vitamin A, vitamin C, all kinds of phytonutrients, carbohydrates, sugars to fuel the cells. All cells run on sugar. It's actually the most important macronutrient for the human body. I believe I had some questions a while ago. I know I haven't really been that good about making videos, but I've been home with my kids 24/7. We also went on vacation and drove back, and it just was a lot to kind of get back into the swing of things. But I did have a question about overeating on starchy foods, particularly like potatoes and rice, and why that is, why people feel like they need to eat a lot of those foods before they reach satiation. Now, there are a few theories behind that. Definitely, you probably didn't eat enough carbohydrates from fruits during the day. That usually calls for eating a lot more starch when you're not meeting your glucose needs through fruits and simple sugars. But another concept that doesn't get talked about a whole lot is that rice and potatoes are healthy high carb foods, but they don't have the same satiation factors that fruit does. For instance, fruit has high water content, it's full of nutrients, full of fiber, simple sugars that register to your body, I think, sooner than rice or potatoes that you are full. White rice in particular does not contain any fiber, really, and a lot of the nutrients have been stripped from it, so it takes longer to trigger satiation. If you want to go watch Bubba, you can go watch it. I know that I personally can eat a lot of rice before I get satiated. Potatoes, I feel like, they have a little bit more nutrition, they have a little bit more fiber in them, particularly if you're eating the skins, but then again, it's not advised to eat a lot of the skins because there are toxins in the skin. It's called solanine, that can actually cause some issues in susceptible folks. So also, according to the mucusless diet theories, consuming rice and starches and white potatoes, pasta, things like that. While they can be used on the transition diet, ultimately you want to get yourself off of those foods because they don't eliminate well. Rice in particular, you can make glue from it. So when you're putting it into the body, and we run about 98 degrees, you're heating it up, combining it with the fluid that's in your system, and it can create a glue that can bind up the intestines and just cause issues in susceptible folks. Now, it really depends on your constitution as to what foods you should be eating or avoiding right now, but in general, I think sticking to a high fruit and vegetable based diet in general, opting for like sweet potatoes instead of white potatoes, and more vegetables instead of like rice, and more fruits, so you're getting your carbohydrate needs, and that can help with getting off of those foods. So that would be my suggestion, is to eat more fruit, eat more vegetables, so then you're filling up on those foods and you don't need to eat the rice and the potatoes for the carbohydrates, because that's really all you're getting when you're eating rice. White rice is a carbohydrate that is harder to digest than something like fruit. So I hope that answers that question. I have been doing some research into some nutrients that are particularly important for the immune system, and those would be vitamin D, vitamin A, and vitamin C. These vitamins have been clinically tested at therapeutic levels to be beneficial in helping to prevent and offset the detrimental effects of things like the flu or even coronavirus. So it's really important. I'm not suggesting to supplement unless you need to, but to make sure that you're getting those nutrients in every day. Now, vitamin A and C, those are found in plentiful amounts in lots of plant foods, particularly your green leafy vegetables, fruits, sweet potatoes. And then your vitamin D, now that spring is here, you can get out and get some sunlight in. That was a big reason why we took our trip to Florida, so that we could all get topped up on some vitamin D. I was supplementing over the winter time. I do supplement with my kids over the winter time as well with vitamin D. And those nutrients, if you investigate them further, you can see they play major roles in chemical pathways that influence our immune function. So yeah, I'm gonna eat a little bit more watermelon here. I plan to do another what I eat in a day video this week, but I've basically been keeping it the same. Lots of fruit. I do fruit until dinner time, and then I have a big salad, and like last night I had sweet potatoes with that, and sometimes I don't have any cooked food at all. And I really enjoyed just doing all fruit, particularly when I was in a warmer climate. And I find it easier to do all fruit when you are in a warmer climate. But if you are looking to do a more fruit-based approach, I highly recommend getting yourself a box of bananas and getting yourself a box of dates, because you want to make sure that you're still able to meet your calorie needs and nutrient needs. A lot of people, I think they make the mistake when they want to do all raw, they don't eat enough. And it is actually harder to do all raw because it doesn't give you the same like fullness, like in terms of like a heavy food, as eating cooked food, because cooked food is denser in terms of like calories, but which is why you have to eat more fruit when you're trying to get all your calories from fruit. But once you get used to that volume, and exercise does help with that, sleeping enough at night does help with that. Our health is really, it's multifaceted. So our health really encompasses, it's multifaceted, meaning that if we want to achieve our optimal health, we have to be not just eating really healthfully, but living really healthfully, meaning that we're not doing recreational drugs, we're not smoking, we're not drinking alcohol, we're not smoking the herb, we're not really taking any over-the-counter medications. We're focusing on having a really clean, healthy diet. That's the bulk of it is fruits and vegetables, preferably in their raw state. That is the human design. Every animal in nature eats raw foods, and I'm not saying just go out and just start eating raw foods, because cooked food serves a place, especially when you're transitioning to a raw vegan diet, a mucusless diet. The transition is extremely important, but when you're on your path to achieving optimal health, focusing on eating enough raw fruits and vegetables every day can really do wonders for your system, as well as getting enough sunlight every day. And I think that ranges from like 10 to 20 minutes of direct sunlight on the skin every day, as well as getting enough sleep at night, going to bed between like 8 to 10 p.m. And then sleeping for 8 to 12 hours. That can really impact digestion, especially when you're eating all these high water content, high volume, high fiber foods. And then exercising. Exercising is like the icing on the cake. You have your foundation of the cake, and then the icing is what makes it, finishes it off. It brings it all together, because that is your body being tested for what it's capable of doing physically, and the only way it's going to be able to do that is if you have all these other factors in place, where you get to a physical fitness that is competitive, is what I'll call it. We're not going to do bubbles inside. Anyways, and doing exercise every day, that helps your body to become more efficient. It helps your digestion, helps out everything, but you're not going to get the max potential out of your physical body if you are not, eating well and getting enough sleep and doing all these things. So health is multifaceted. Focus on lots of fruit and vegetables every day. I do offer coaching at a very affordable price. It's only $40 for a lifetime coaching from me in my coaching group. I'll leave a link for that in the description box, and let me help you transition to a healthy diet and lifestyle. All right, thank you so much for watching the video. Stay tuned this week for my what I eat in a day. All right, bye guys.